Listen to this. You don't actually want a Lamborghini. You just want proof you matter. You don't really want abs for health. You just want to not feel invisible. You don't obsess over career titles because you love spreadsheets. You obsess because you're scared of being average. That quiet fear that you'll grow up, get a normal job, make normal money, have normal weekends, and nobody will ever care. This isn't about ambition. It's about status anxiety. And once you understand how status actually works, why your brain exaggerates it, and how modern life pours gasoline on it, the fear gets way less dramatic. Let's break it down. Running example. Your obsession with getting a blue checkmark on Instagram. Status is your position in a social hierarchy. Hierarchy just means ranking. Humans rank everything. Who's funniest? Who's strongest? Who makes the most money? Who gets the most attention? In caveman times, status meant survival. Higher status often meant more access to food, protection, and mates. Now fast forward. You're not fighting lions. You're refreshing Instagram wondering why that guy from school has a blue checkmark and you don't. Same wiring, new environment. So what? Your fear of being average isn't random. It's biological software running in a modern app store. Here's the key idea. Status is relative. Relative means compared to other people. If everyone around you makes $40,000 a year and you make $60,000, you feel ahead. If everyone around you makes $200,000 and you make $150,000, you feel behind. Even though $150,000 is objectively high income in many places, same with the blue checkmark. If no one you know has it, you don't care. If 5 guys from your school get verified, suddenly you're behind. Your brain doesn't measure success in absolute terms. It measures position. So what? You can win on paper and still feel average if your comparison group shifts. That's dangerous, because the internet constantly shifts your comparison group upward. Now, here's the problem. Before social media, your comparison group was local, school, neighborhood, maybe your city. Now it's global. You're not comparing your body to guys at your gym. You're comparing it to fitness influencers with professional lighting, good genetics, and maybe pharmaceutical assistance. You're not comparing your career to your cousin. You're comparing it to a 2-3-year-old startup founder on Twitter, announcing funding rounds. You're not comparing attention to your friend group. You're comparing it to someone with 800K followers and a blue checkmark. The algorithm doesn't show you average. It shows you exceptional, because exceptional keeps you scrolling. So what? You start thinking average equals failure, when statistically, average just means most people. And most people are doing fine. If we take this even taker, your brain thinks things are common if you see them often. If your feed is full of 6-figure side hustles, your brain thinks everyone is getting rich. If your feed is full of shredded bodies, your brain thinks everyone is lean year-round. If your feed is full of verified accounts, your brain thinks blue checkmarks are normal. They're not. Your feed is curated. Real life is not. So what? You feel behind in a race that barely exists outside your screen. Your fear of being average is inflated by what's most visible, not what's most common. Okay, but why does this hit so hard? At the age of 16 to 25, you're building identity. Identity is just the story you tell yourself about who you are. I'm the smart one. I'm the athletic one. I'm the funny one. I'm the ambitious one. If you don't feel exceptional at something, it can feel like you're nobody. Now add the blue checkmark example. You tell yourself, if I get verified, that means I matter. So the checkmark becomes identity fuel. Without it, you feel invisible. With it, you feel real. But that's fragile, because you tied your identity to external validation. So what? Your fear of being average is often a fear of having no clear identity. Not a fear of income. Not a fear of lifestyle. A fear of being undefined. Now let's expose another layer. Spotlight effect. The spotlight effect is when you overestimate how much other people notice you. Research in psychology shows people consistently believe others pay more attention to them than they actually do. You think? Everyone sees I don't have a blue check. Everyone knows I'm not that successful yet. Everyone can tell I'm average. Reality? Most people are thinking about themselves. They're worried about their own check mark, their own body, their own career. So what? A huge chunk of your anxiety is imaginary audience pressure. You're performing on a stage where the seats are mostly empty. So, ambition isn't the enemy. Wanting to build something big is fine. But there are two types. Healthy ambition. I want to improve because I enjoy growth. Insecure ambition. I need to win so I don't feel inferior. The blue checkmark can represent either. Healthy. It would be cool to grow my brand. Insecure. If I don't get this, I'm nobody. One feels energizing. The other feels desperate. So what? Same goal. Different psychology. Completely different experience. And insecure ambition burns you out faster because you're chasing emotional relief, not mastery. Let's talk statistically. Average just means common. By definition, most people cluster around the middle in most traits. Height, income, bench press numbers, follower counts. That's how distributions work. If everyone were exceptional, exceptional wouldn't exist. So the fear of being average is mathematically weird. You're scared of being normal, but normal is what almost everyone is. So what? The real question isn't, how do I avoid being average? It's, what does average even mean in the categories I care about? Because you can't be top 1% in everything. You don't have the time. You don't have the energy. Nobody does. You try to be above average in money, body, social life, style, charisma, online presence, career speed, all at once. So you open 5 self-improvement tabs in your brain. You start gym. You start a side hustle. You start content creation hoping for that blue check mark. You try to upgrade your wardrobe. You download productivity apps. Now you're overwhelmed. Because excellence requires focus, and focus requires trade-offs. So what? Fear of being average everywhere stops you from being excellent anywhere. That's brutal, but true. Life is not one leaderboard. It's multiple games. Academics is a game. Fitness is a game. Entrepreneurship is a game. Social dominance is a game. Online clout blue checkmarks included is a game. Different rules, different scoring systems. You don't have to win all of them. You can choose your arena. If you don't consciously choose, you default to the loudest one. Right now, the loudest one is social media status. So what? If you don't pick your game, the algorithm picks it for you, and it will always pick the one that keeps you scrolling. Instead, let's say you spend 2 years building skills quietly. You get better at coding, or sales, or filmmaking, or lifting. No viral moments, no blue checkmark, but you build competence. Competence is actual ability. Ability compounds. Compounding means small improvements stacking over time. After a few years, you're solid. Maybe not famous, but capable. That's stability. At very last, average compared to whom? Your entire country? Your age group? Your city? Your friend group? Be precise. Because I'm average without a defined comparison group is just vague self-criticism. And vague criticism is hard to fix. Instead of, I don't want to be an average. Try, I want to be top 20% in strength. I want to earn above the median in my field. I want a small, but real audience that trusts me. Notice how the blue checkmark disappears from the equation? Because it was never the real metric. It was a symbol. So always remember, the fear of being average isn't really about money, fame, muscles, or blue checkmarks. It's about wanting to matter. And the fastest way to feel less average? Stop competing in every arena. Pick one. Get competent. Let the results be a byproduct. And if you ever catch yourself refreshing to see if you magically got verified overnight, relax, take, breathe, and build something worth verifying. If this helped, then subscribe and do let me know in comments which locked-in game you are going for.